like, fuck you.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another live podcast show with Danielle and Teresa. Or I'm pointing the wrong way. I just want to preface this whole episode by saying I have hit some kind of upper limit and have contracted some kind of virus. Okay, so I sound a little bit gross, but it is what it is. Nothing I can do about it. But it's kind of funny because on Sunday, like just quick tangent story. On Saturday, I was productive AF. I cleaned for hours this house. I don't know what got into me, but I wanted to clean everything. My throat was a little scratchy, but I just like ignored it and went on with my day. And then Sunday, I just had no energy to do anything, including like I couldn't even, I had nothing to do. And I thought maybe I'll sit and read a book, and I had literally no energy. So I was just like, I'm just going to lay down and do actually nothing. Like literally, I'm just going to stare at the ceiling and I'm going to do nothing. And then I ended up kind of tucking myself into bed, and I think I dozed off, but I wasn't intending to nap. But it's funny because later that day I saw I don't know, reel or TikTok or whatever, one of those things where this guy was saying like, you know, illness is one of the, I mean, he's going at it from a different angle, but he's saying illness is one of the many ways that our body and the universe and everything is telling us to slow down and reflect. So the stupidest thing you can do is try to push through and you know, ignore the fact that you're sick. Like you know, and I know, and Teresa knows, like, okay, it's an upper limit. That's fine. You have to surrender to that. There's no point in trying to pretend that that's not what's happening. But then slow down and think about what's been going on and what's been happening and why I'm being forced to slow down and reflect and ask myself these questions, right? So anyway, it was just funny because that's exactly what I did without really meaning to. I just literally didn't have any energy. But anyway.
Yeah. It's a combination of things though, too. Look at energetically right now.
Yes.
Mercury retrograde. It's forcing you to sit there and look at shit that you haven't looked at. Yeah. What have you been ignoring? What have you been, not wanting to deal with? Yeah. It's not going to allow you to keep ignoring it. You're going to have to look at shit that you like, shit that doesn't feel good. Yeah. I've also got messages from clients though too. That's like, Teresa, what the fuck is going on? You know, I have no energy. I'm so drained. I'm tired. Yeah. Backwards. No, I think it's an upper limit thing, but I also feel like it's a purging right now.
Yeah.
All the shit like that has to fucking get out of your body. That's not going to go with you to the next step that you're, the next level that we're going to right now.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of factors to consider. And, you know, when we're talking about upper limits, you know, when we're doing things like the magic, this kind of thing happens. I was actually talking to a mom from school we were walking home from drop off this morning, and she's doing the magic with us. And she's been manifesting a lot of really incredible things lately, right? Like raises and job offers and, you know, peace in her family. And like one of the things she wanted to do was, you know, cultivate more peace and calm so that she wasn't constantly angry and yelling at her kids, and, you know, better relationship with them. And all of that is happening. And then, so she tells me, I was talking to her yesterday and she's like, well, I had a migraine all weekend. And I was like, oh, that sucks. And then this morning I was like, oh, obvious. Of course, it's upper limit, like glaring neon lights, upper limit, right? Because too many good things are happening all at once, and her feel-good thermostat is triggered. I cannot wait to do the big leap, you guys, because all of this, if you have not read the book before, everything we are talking about is going to make so much sense in a few weeks. I'm just so excited.
I was starting to feel a migraine this morning, and I was like, oh, hell no, ain't nothing stopping me. Nothing is stopping me this time. Not today.
No.
Yeah. And then that was it. It was like a couple moments. It's that awareness.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's exactly what it is.
I'm getting so sensitive. Like I could feel little subtle shifts where it's like, okay, no, we're not letting it go. X, Y, and Z. We're not losing control of our nervous system. Boom.
Yeah.
But my gosh, how amazing. I wish that all the women that are in our Facebook group were in here to be talking about
I know.
Like crazy. Every time I go into Messenger and I'm like, I love it. I love it.
And it's so Yeah, I love it too. We've got a little side kind of chat going on for everybody who's like actively participating. Well, that wants to engage in the conversation. I'm sure people are also doing the magic without actually engaging, and that's fine. You know, some people are not into it, but there is so much winning going on. There's so much good stuff going on. Like one of the girls, I need to just share this. One of the girls just shared over the weekend that she booked. Oh, it's 11:11. One of the girls shared that she booked. There was some kind of travel sale. So she booked these flight seats, right? She booked 4 seats, which is this airline's version of first class, I guess, because each airline has something a little bit different, right? And it was like $4,500 for 4 tickets, okay, for the airline tickets. And then she's like, well, it occurred to me that I didn't check to see how much, money I did save because they were just on sale. I guess it didn't like advertise it or whatever. So she went back to the site and she's like, we must have gotten like the last seats because I added just 2 to the cart, not 4, but only 2. And she's like, the same exact tickets are now for the 2, 13,000 something. Wow. I was like, okay, so 4 tickets would have been like $27,000. You only spent $4,500. So I was like, not only is that proof that everything is always working out for you, but that is in essence the exact same thing as manifesting $20,000+. Because if you're going to go and do that anyway, I mean, maybe she wouldn't have booked the first class tickets, but you follow what I'm saying, right? Like that, this is a black and white example of how everything is always, always, always working out for us.
Right. And that's why you don't want to confine yourself to a box right. when you're asking for the 20,000 or 50,000.
Right.
I will say though, is money that you do not have to repay.
Yes, definitely.
I don't know. Remember when we first started doing it before, it was amounts were coming through, but it was like a loan for this and a loan for that. I mean,
or a credit card increase or something. Yeah. It's like, no, that's not what I meant.
We were surprised because, we were going through turmoil and our shit was all over the place. Mine and yours was like, do we do bankruptcy? Do we not?
Yeah. What's going on here?
Was coming through.
Yeah.
That amount of money was a big deal, but I was like, oh, wait, hold on a second. Like, we need to be more specific here. It's like money that we do not have to repay.
Yeah.
Money that's gifted to us, money that comes out of nowhere, but it's free. It never has to be given back.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I had another really good example. Since we're talking about money specifically, I wanted to share another example. One of my private clients actually on our last coaching call was sharing that she is trying to manifest more actual dollars flowing in, right? And this is why I always say, it's more important that we focus on what's for our highest and best good and what we want to do with the money rather than the actual dollars in our account, right? Because in the last 2 weeks, I will just go ahead and say that she's been listening to my calibration, magnetizing money subliminal. I'm just going to throw that out there. But in the last couple of weeks, she manifested, she's a real estate agent. And she manifested these tickets to this very elite function. And she's like, I still have no idea how I got an invitation to this invite only thing because I am not at the caliber of success yet that I should have been invited. She's like, I don't know anybody there. There are no connections. I don't know how I got an invitation, but she showed up. And then it gets even better. While she's there, okay, wait, 2 things. One, so she's in Texas, and for those of you who live in Texas, I've not been to Texas, but I understand that everything is like 1, 2, 3 hours away. Like nothing is close to anything. You have to drive it's like everything is a road trip, right? Kind of like Nicaragua was kind of the same. Anyway, so she didn't have to. Now this thing was like 4 hours from her, but it just so happened that her husband was going to a work thing in the same area, and they were already footing the bill for his lodging and travel expenses and some meals because he had to go. So she just piggybacked on that and stayed in the hotel with him because they're already paying for it. So she got the free stay, free food, all that. Then while she's at the real estate event, she ended up winning tickets to another event that's happening, I think actually tomorrow. She's going to this, it's like a 2 or 3 day how to leverage social media for your real estate business, something else very also elite. These tickets are like $650 each, something like this. And so she won tickets to this thing. And of course, she just so happens to be, this is like her main block right now to her success, is she knows that to get her name out there as a real estate agent, she needs to be posting more on social media about like the houses she's showing and, you know, tips and tricks about buying houses and just all of that, right? Getting herself out there. And she has all these like resistant blocks to doing that. And then, so of course, this is going to solve that problem. And so all of that is fantastic, right? But here's my main point, is that she was like, I still, like, that's all good. And I love it. I'm very grateful for it, all of that. But I still wish that, like, I still need actual dollars and cents in my account because I, you know, like, I have bills to pay and stuff. Right. And so she did end up onboarding several clients because of these couple of events. But I pointed out to her, I was like, look, this is the thing though. The universe is giving you what's best for you, not what you think that you want. Because I was like, I guarantee you, if you had money instead of the tickets, you would not have spent it on these tickets or, you know, gone to these events or whatever. And it's because of these events that we're going to have this cascade of events, this snowball in a very positive way for
that happen at this event. That's going to make sense.
Yes,
later.
Exactly.
Bigger manifestation that she wants.
Exactly. Exactly. So this is what I'm saying to her. I was like, you have to remember that the universe is always giving us what we need, not necessarily what we think we want. And then, so that goes back to Teresa's point about, you know, we have to be open to receiving what is best for us, because the universe has a much grander view of what things are going to lead to other things, like what we need to have in place to get where we want to go. So that's why a lot of the time when we're manifesting things, like in this scenario, she's like, I need actual dollars. I don't need tickets to this event. But it's like, but wait, hold on a second. The tickets to this event are going to lead to tons of dollars and cents coming into your account. It's just, there's a little bit of a delay because there's some stepping stones in between that are actually going to align you so much better than if you were to just push through and hustle. And, you know, so this is why Teresa and I are always saying, like, focus on the feelings of having what you want at the end and not necessarily worrying so much about how these things are going to play out and how you think you want them to play out. Because like we're always saying, you don't know what you don't know. So you don't know what actually is best for you. And a lot of the time, what we're manifesting is from the perspective that we're at right now, not where we're going and who we're going to become in the process. Right?
That's where you have to really stay in the moment.
Yeah.
Was it follow your joy from moment to moment? Okay. Yeah. Everything is leading to my manifestation. Everything is the unfolding of my manifestation. And I fucking promise you that it is. Because what happens is we get caught up on that very thing that you're talking about right now. Like, oh, well, I need the big money. What the fuck is it? Why is this even here? This is stupid. I'm not getting. Yes, you are, honey. I promise you.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some brochure that you picked up there. Maybe there was one person that you met that's going to connect at the end when you get there. It's going to fucking make sense.
Yeah.
So aware and have this understanding, because if not, you're going to take yourself out of alignment completely. You're going to go 100 steps backwards because in this moment, it's not showing up exactly how you put down on the paper, but it's leading you there. Mm-hmm. You know, some things show up instantly. Some things, whether we're ready or not, show up instantly. But a lot of times when it's a huge thing that we're trying to bring in, it's like your energy, everything has to recalibrate. We're shifting frequency. Right. And everything is always leading. It's like the chain of events. Yeah. I don't like to say the birds before landing thing all the time because I don't want everybody like waiting. Oh, is this a sign? Is this a sign? No, you have to just in the fucking moment, because every time you're looking and is it here yet? Is it here yet? All you're doing is causing more resistance. You're holding yourself trapped, where if you just let it flow, enjoy the moment that you're in. Yeah. All of a sudden, before you know it, you turn around and it's like, boom, 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 boom. That's where I'm at right now. This book has allowed me to be so completely in the flow that I'm not even questioning anything anymore. Right. Even bad shit happened the last couple of weeks. It's not even bad to me. I know that it's all happening on purpose. Like I have doubt in my mind that everything is leading to my manifestations, that everything is happening for me. That's another thing, you guys. Everything is always happening for us. It's not happening to us. It's happening for us. Always. We're going to do a side tangent again.
Let's do it. I love it.
Huge. We talked about it last week, and I was just like, oh, it's a side tangent about the mother wound. But I'm having person after person come up to me talking about this shit. So I had a client over the weekend who disconnected from her mother on Easter. I had somebody this morning who had a huge blowout with the water. So I'm like, okay, this is a collective shift right here. So for this morning, when she was talking, she could not stop crying. It was just, couldn't even breathe crying. So I had to explain to her, right? It's not that I'm cold-hearted or nothing like that. It's just that I understand the way the universe fucking works. And I know that we keep focusing on it never leaves our reality, and that there's a bigger purpose to this, right? So she's like, well, I can't get over the way that he treats me, and it makes me feel so bad. Da, 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 da. When I know that this person, my powers are insane. My psychic gifts, my abilities, and shit.
They are.
No, right now, 100%, I'm a fucking beast. Like, I've never been so, and thank you, I've never been so confident in them as I am today. But this person fucking blows me out of the water, literally. Like, that's how powerful she is. I can't even wrap my head around it. But I explained to her, I was like, look, I get it. It's your parent. I get it. It fucking hurts. But we came here on a mission. He could have been your brother last lifetime. He could have been your uncle. So what? He has this title in this life. I'm not saying disrespect them in any kind of way.
Right.
What I'm saying is you put this soul on your path for a reason. For this exact conversation that I was having with her this morning, I said, for what I'm about to tell you right now, this is exactly why it's happening. So let me tell you something right now. Our reality is created from the subconscious, and whatever we focus on, our dominant thought patterns create. Not only does it create, then it scans our reality. We keep saying this over and over and over, but obviously people need to hear it again.
Yeah. Yep.
Our reality brings you more of the situation to prove that you're right. You keep focusing on it. You say this person's the asshole. They have to show up that way continuously.
Right.
The only reason why this is happening is bring you into this awareness, into this knowledge that you are a fucking creator. This is it. That's it. And if you hold on to this and you keep fucking crying, oh, but I want him to validate my feelings and emotions, he may never fucking do that. Yeah. Who cares? Who cares? I'm sorry. It's a little bit harsh, but who fucking cares? Because you have two choices. You keep focusing on it and it never, ever, ever leaves your reality. You'll experience the same thing over and over and over and over. Or you say, hey, you know what? Teresa's right. If I hold this in here, the situation is never going to change. Okay. Now the father is stuck in the past, literally like a computer system on repeat, repeat. Everybody around him holds him to this identity that he has showed up in year after year after year after year, that he's stuck in the past. He's always complaining about everything. Now I explained to her, as long as everybody holds him in this vision of what he has shown up as, yes, you got 100% proof. Yeah. Yes, he does do these things. Mm-hmm. But as long as you continue to see him that way, he'll never, ever, ever show up as anything different. So
you can't. Yeah.
From this moment forward, change your thoughts. What do you want him to look like? Right. And then I was like walking around and rampaging. I'm like, look, my father is the best fucking human on this planet. He eagerly wants to build an unbreakable bond between me and him. He's so interested in my life. He has the utmost patience for me and everything that he does. This is the shit that you have to keep repeating. I don't care even if he shows up in front of you and blows up at you in that moment. It didn't fucking happen. Literally. Yeah. All this thing on Saturday, I was watching these videos and she was saying, she's another like spiritual teacher and stuff. And she's like, out of all the years that she's been doing this work, what she figured out, made the connection with all of her clients that she's had, thousands and thousands, that because we're in this human body, we're going to react to human emotions. It's inevitable. As soon as that happens, sometimes we can't help it. We just fucking, the moment you put the thoughts in your mind about it, that's when it creates. She said, so in that moment that you reacted, you're cutting off the thought system. In your mind, didn't happen. You're throwing off the subconscious because it's like we're watching, right? You saw what happened in front of you. But if you take it in like, oh my God, he's a fucking asshole. See, he always does. He never fucking changes. Then that gets submerged in there, and then it reflects it into your reality. Right. But in that moment, when you throw it off, you throw the system off, and you don't allow it to submerge in there, it doesn't matter that you reacted, because prior to that, it was just like, don't react at all. But sometimes we can't help it. Yeah. Eventually we'll get to a point where it doesn't fucking matter. And I'm pretty much there. Just like, you silly little, you know.
Aren't you cute?
Yeah, because I'm so dead set on where I want to fucking go. And the fact that it's all unfolding, like there is nothing that I'm allowing to stop me. But these are things obviously that the people who are watching today or in the future are going to be dealing with. And we're here to give them some solutions and help on this. And this is how you respond. You should only have in your mind the version of them that you want them to show up as. If you hold anything else in your mind, they have to show up as that, because you are the creator. This is your reality. They don't have a choice. So you got to detach. You got to fucking detach from this fucking story that, oh, this is my father, this is my mother, and they should have showed up like this. They didn't for a fucking reason. And you set this whole shit up before you incarnated here. You fucking set it up. Let that sink in. There's nobody to fucking blame here no more. There's no more the more you hold them to this version that you expected them or you want them to be, all you're doing is holding yourself trapped there.
Right.
Over and over in a reality that you don't fucking like or want. So, I mean, you could take what I say and run with it, or you can continue to, oh, well, I want them to validate my feelings. I want them. And remember, they're on their own fucking journey. You don't know what they do when they're alone. You don't know how many fucking times they cry about not showing up. And then it's even worse, the fact if they're not even on this journey to even understand what they're going through, you know? And as we all get older and we have our own children, like we all make mistakes. I hate to say we don't have the handbook to life, because I feel like we fucking do now. We really do.
Kind of do, yeah.
We know what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah. No.
I have enough experience. I'm not teaching from a fucking book.
Yeah.
I have walked this path. I have seen what works, what doesn't fucking work. So have you. And again, I don't give a shit what people think or say. The fucking subliminals are... any client that I have, you're ordering a fucking subliminal.
Yeah.
Period. Exactly to your life and what you're trying to change. Like, it's so powerful. It's stupid. But like I said, this whole parent thing keeps coming up, obviously, because we're one consciousness. We're a collective. And if one of us is experiencing it, most likely there's a shit ton of us experiencing the same thing. So let the fucking story go. Rewrite a new story. Put them down on a piece of paper. What's the new identity that you want for them? How do they treat you? How do they talk to you? Do you do one-on-one things with this parent? You know, are they loving? Are they kind? Are they generous? However you want to program them. Yeah. You have to see them in that light. Otherwise, nothing will ever change.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to highlight this from another angle, because some people may not realize how we hold people in boxes and we see them the way that we want to see them. I know we don't actually want to see them that way, but that's really what's happening, right? Think about on the flip side, like when you start dating somebody new, for example, or even meet a new friend and you're just like, oh my God, this person is just amazing. And you idolize them. You think they're the best. This is the best it's ever been. And you you don't even see any of the red flags. Right? Like I have dated people where it's like, I'm just like infatuated. Right. And then my friend would be like, well, but what about this? And what about that? And what about that? And I'm just like, no, that's not happening. I don't see it. You're defending. And it's like, but in my reality, they can't show up to me differently because this is what I'm projecting out to them. You know what I mean? And so, and okay, maybe that's not a great example because eventually the red flags do show and then you end up, okay, and then there's a lesson to learn and all of that.
The red flag. Okay. If the red flags are there, it's still nobody outside of you controlling anything.
Well, right.
Up is because there's something in you that's unhealed.
Right.
Because everybody is a reflection of you, right. Good or bad. If it's bad, it's because there's some kind of wounding inside of you. This is okay. We're going to talk about this too.
Yeah. Let's go on another side tangent.
I have a few women who follow me, my Instagram. I'm sure they watch this right now. Not because they're trying to fucking learn something. It's because they're unhealed as fuck.
Yeah.
And I've been there in a relationship where the person was cheating on me. They were always admiring other women on Instagram or whatever it was. Anytime they followed somebody, I went and I checked that woman out right away. I dissected. I became almost obsessed.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Constantly checking the woman out. What's she doing? What's she wearing? How's she dressing? How's she talking? Why? Because I was so fucking unhealed inside of me. Mm-hmm. Right? Why does he want her? Why is he talking to her? Oh my God, her hair's better than mine. Her makeup's better than mine. Her body's better than mine. I couldn't even think straight. Now, fast forward. You will never, ever, ever, not one fucking day in my life moving forward will catch me on another woman's fucking social media comparing myself to her. Even if the man that I'm fucking with or talking to is no. Why? Because I've healed so much and I've turned inward. I took all that fucking energy that I was putting outside of me, inside of me, to become whole. I started looking in the mirror saying, you are that bitch. You are a fucking prize. You are beautiful. You are fucking amazing. No woman compares to you until I started fucking believing it. Because eventually you will. At first you don't. Yeah. Especially if you've been in a toxic relationship where you've been cheated on constantly, you don't even know your fucking self-worth. How do I know that? Because you keep fucking staying and staying and staying and staying, and you keep accepting it, right? You keep blaming the women as to why your relationship is falling apart. It's not. It's you. It's an internal fucking job. Because if you're whole and complete within yourself and your self-worth and your confidence on a different level, your belief systems have changed. No other women even enter your fucking reality. The man that you're with is going to respect you and love you to the extent that you respect and love your fucking self. Yeah. Period. And a lot of times, women stay in these things because they think that the man's going to give to the next woman everything that she was fighting for and all this shit. So fucking what if he does? So what? This is about you. This is about you coming back to self. And let me tell you something. Until you do this fucking work, you're going to meet another man. And it may take a couple of weeks or a month, and you're going to experience the same fucking thing. And before it was like, oh, you're going to meet the same demon in the next man. It's not a demon. It's your fucking belief system. Yeah. It's self-worth that starts showing up, being reflected back to you in every fucking person that you encounter. So I wasn't going to go there, but I said,
Well, what's funny is I was actually years ago before, I think it was I already doing this stuff or no? I can't remember, but it doesn't matter. I was having a conversation with somebody. We were not talking about any of this, but we were talking about relationships, and she had been divorced and remarried. And then her and her husband were having, basically what it was they were having basically the same issues that she was having with her first husband. And she said to me something to the effect of I wish I had known then what I know now, because I would have approached my first marriage differently, because basically what she was saying is I've recreated the same shit, different pile, with this other guy. And now we didn't go as deep as to it's yourself projected, because I didn't know any of that stuff at the time, but it was just interesting how people can come at least around to the surface level realization that, basically wherever you go, you take yourself with you, whether it's to a new relationship, a new country, a new house, a new friendship, a new job, it doesn't matter. If you are running from something, you're never going to get where you want to go because you're continuously running, right? I actually, on another totally unrelated example, I was watching a YouTube short, and this guy was talking about this woman that he had coached. And she was already making like $6-7 million like a year, right? And she hired this coach because she wanted to get to the $10 million mark. And he said, okay, but why? I guess part of his thing is like, let's get to the why so that we can, back up what we're manifesting here, right? What we're working towards. He didn't say manifesting, but you know what I mean? And she says, well, when I get to 10 million, I can prove that I did it. And I can tell everybody to go fuck themselves, basically. And he's like, do you even understand how many women, female founded companies, female entrepreneurs make it to $6-7 million? Like, you're already in like 0.02%. Like, what are you waiting for? Right. And then he said that she, like, this look on her face, and she was just like, and he's like, I just knew that she got it. There's nowhere to get to, right? There is nowhere to go. You're already there, right? So this particular woman, even at 6-7 million, is still running from whatever the hell she's running from, trying to create. She's thinking, once I get here, things will be different. It's like, no, man. In all of these scenarios, with parents, with money, with relationships, with friendships, with jobs, countries, wherever you go, you take yourself with you. This is why this work is so important, because it's self-concept. It's everything is you project it out. So if you're experiencing anything that you don't like, you need to check yourself first, because no matter what you're doing, or if you think it's my spouse, it's my this, well, guess what? You're just going to recreate the same shit with your next spouse.
Yep.
Like, it's not going to change if you do not change. So there's no point in leaving a relationship that you're unhappy in if you are not willing. I mean, do what you want. I don't care. But I'm just saying, if you're not willing to do the work, you're not going to magically find some new spouse who treats you better. You're going to have, like Teresa was saying 5-10 minutes ago, you're going to have the exact same or very similar scenario happen again, because you're going to attract who you are back at you, right? You're going to attract the unhealed pieces of you. So if you are unhappy in your relationship, in any relationship, whether this is family, this is spouse, this is whatever, do the work. Do the work. I mean, wouldn't you rather it? If more people understood this, I think we'd have less divorces. You know what I mean?
Yep. On my Instagram, it's like, oh, fuck that nigga. He did this and he did that, and I'm just like.
But you attracted that.
Okay. And they can vouch for this. The ones who follow me, I'll fucking send them a message. I don't give a shit. Like,
I'll tell you what's up.
Because I'm trying to wake you up, bitch, so you can see that you're creating this. Okay.
Yeah.
He didn't do this. You did this. You don't love your motherfucking self, so nobody can love you back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's just the fucking truth.
Yeah.
You don't respect you. Nobody in your reality is ever going to fucking respect you, period. Because again, everything is a reflection of you.
Yep.
So I've sent a few of them like long fucking messages. Like, look, this is how the universe works. Blah, 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 blah. I'm sorry, honey, but it has nothing to do with him. It's you. And if I'm sending you this message, it's probably because you were born to break these fucking generational cycles, because your mom did it, your grandma did it, everybody accepted less than what the fuck deserved on this planet. Mm-hmm. You're here to break it. I'll even say all that stuff too. Because you know what? I don't care. I'm planting the seeds. If it's time for them to wake up, they'll have an awakening. If it's not time yet, they're like, fuck you, bitch. Who are you to tell me whatever?
Block. Yeah, whatever. Okay, bye.
Or they just, it's red and they don't ever respond. But I'm like, hey, I have everything you need right here, baby boo. And a lot of them have seen me from 10 years ago all the way to now. Like, right. Hey, I got the recipe. I'm not talking out of my ass. Like, I got the recipe.
Well, and that's just it, right? Like, at first, it's funny how things transpire, right? Because at first, like, we've done the magic. We did it years ago. We've experienced the magic of it before. We were learning from teachers and sharing what we were learning. Because of course, like, and I'm sure a lot of people watching will understand what I mean when I say this, that there's so much information that even the first time you hear it, it just makes so much sense that it's like, it's more like a remembering than it is like a learning, you know? And I know you and I had that a lot with our first mentor. And then, so I want to repeat it because it's like this just, and I remember, and I don't know if I've said this on here or not, but I remember way back when I first discovered The Secret in like end of 2017 or whatever it was, I remember having this overwhelming need to get on Facebook Live and start sharing what I was learning. I was like, I literally remember saying the words, like, I feel like I'm some kind of disciple of this information. Like, I need to disseminate it to all, like, people need to understand what's going on, like the power that they have, right? And it's not that I knew more or less now, because there is no new information, right? Like, this is, and a lot of what we're learning now in the books that I'm reading now is just kind of remixed versions of the same things that we already know, right? But by now, I find it's easier for people to take us more seriously, because now not only do I know what I know, but now I've been doing it long enough that I have a track record of my own and my clients, or just friends, people that I've helped in general, and you as well. This is what I'm saying. Like, by now, it's not that you know more or less than, I mean, I guess it's more embodied now than it was before, right? Because it does take time to fully integrate and then be able to outwardly project what it is that we know with confidence, instead of just like, this is what I heard, please listen to me. And it's like, no, like, I know what I'm talking about. I've experienced it. I've seen it many, 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 many times. I have been studying this now for how many years? Like, I know what I am talking about. I remember way at the beginning when I first learned all this, I was talking to my parents and my sister, and my sister, I remember she told me the story about how she manifested a Subway cookie. Her and her girlfriend were walking to Subway, and they were deciding what they were going to get. And she's like, I really wanted a cookie, but I didn't, I decided, no, I'm not going to buy the cookie because I don't want to spend the extra money on the cookie or whatever. Right. And then she goes to pay for her order, and they're like, do you want a cookie? They're free today. And she's just like, and she said to me, she's like, oh, Danielle. And I'm like, I said to her, I was like, why are you fighting this information though? This is not, I'm not, I know that I can be a bit of a know-it-all. I've been that before, but I was like, this is not about me trying to be right. And I said this, we had this exact same conversation, I think last week when she was visiting. I said, look, it's not about me being right. I'm not trying to be right. I'm trying to help you and everybody else understand that you have way more control over what your life looks like than you think you do.
Yeah, I get, so you fucking think you're better than everybody else now.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Hold on a second. Like, what are you talking about right now?
Yeah.
What? You know what? You ain't ready yet. That's okay.
That's well, okay. And that's it.
You let me know.
I'll be right here.
You let me know.
Yeah. But I get that too. You think you know everything? No, that's not. No.
But you know what it is though too, is that in this work, you got to take responsibility for all your shit. Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to do that.
I didn't want to do that.
That's just the way it is. Like, there's no other way around it. Period.
No. And I tried to dance around it for a long time. And then I finally realized that, well, I came to terms with the fact that I was afraid to look because I was afraid of what I was going to find. Right. And then I had this like epiphany. I was like, okay, look, whether I'm aware of it or not doesn't change the fact that it's happening and it's part of who I've been to this point. Like, it's part of my programming. There's nothing I can do about that. And ignoring it is not going to make it go away. The only way to do anything about any of it is to actually look at it, which is uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good to realize that you are the creator of all of the circumstances you've had up to this point, and you have to take responsibility for that. That doesn't feel good, but nothing can change unless you're willing to do that.
Hold on really quick. Hold on.
All right.
Where'd you go?
Bluetooth in the neighbor's house.
Oh no.
Or like, probably went to their, I said something TV.
Maybe they need it.
I'll need to hear this right now.
Yeah. Put me on the megaphone. Yeah. But taking responsibility doesn't feel good. And that's why a lot of people don't want to do it. And that's why I think it takes some people longer to come around to it. And they would rather point the finger and say, well, you just think you know everything. You think you're better. Like, I had somebody comment on one of my videos, oh, this chick thinks she's Oprah. Like, what? No, I'm trying to help you. I'm giving you this information for free, man. I'm just trying to, take it and run. But if you're not ready, I mean, that's your own thing,
Yeah, it's crazy. Like Oprah. Well, I did love Oprah until the whole, other bullshit. But I mean, that would have been a compliment besides all the extra stuff she'd be doing. But yeah.
Well, it was several years ago before I think any of that came to light. So anyway, it's just funny how the unhealed becomes even more heightened. And I think I know my clients say this, and I think you probably have your clients say this, and a lot of people probably watching this will say this. As you go deeper down the rabbit hole of this work, even just with the magic, it becomes glaringly obvious the people who are not grateful enough for what they have, who are not doing the work, who are not healed, who are speaking the wrong things into existence, right? Like it has never been more apparent to me. Like now when people say anything negative or they're speaking unfavorable things into, I'm just like, oh my God, you don't even know what you're doing right now. Like we were at a friend's house last Monday for dinner, and one of the kids was leaving for hockey, and somebody, said something like, don't get into any fights or don't whatever. And I was like, don't even say that. Why would you even say that? Like, don't. Oh God. I was just like, oh my God, I can't even listen to this right now. So I just, for myself, I just go, okay, nope, that's not for me. I leave it. But it's just, man, it's so frustrating. Cause I mean, if I was to stop every single person who was speaking the wrong things into existence, I'd be all day long shaking people by the shoulders, right? Like I can't. But it's funny because like even the gratitude, like my son and I are doing it together. Well, I mean, kind of, I'm reading him the next days at night and we're doing the best thing of the day and whatever. And that's pretty much it. And then I'm doing the rest of it myself. But he's been saying to people too, like somebody was complaining in traffic and he's like, oh no, that's bad juju, mom. They're not thinking the right way. And I was like, I know, man, but not everybody's ready. What can I say?
I know. And, my daughter is like, she has to be in the mood to listen to the stuff that I'm saying. So I'm thinking like, she's not even paying attention. Right.
Yeah.
Comes home. She wrote this whole report on manifestation and mindset.
Oh, wow.
Excuse me? Who are you? Oh, so
what is happening?
You're paying attention to everything I say, but because I'm your mom, you don't want to give me no damn credit. That's what was going on, right?
Yeah. Totally.
Listen to everything you say. So keep saying it.
Period. My son came down, he was visiting with his grandparents and he makes a lot of like cardboard arts and crafts, whatever. He's very creative. And he comes down, he's like, Mom, I made you manifesting glasses. And they're like cardboard glasses. And then there's like paper taped over the lenses with dollar signs. And I was just like, this is so good.
That's amazing.
I have him over I have a little shrine on my shelf over there. I put him because I was like, this is so good. Like I can't even handle how amazing these glasses are. Oh my God. So they're listening.
Is like, we're not just doing it for ourselves. You're doing it for your whole bloodline. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, maybe your mom's not showing up like she should be, but in this work, you can help. Everything stems from everybody's own unhealed wounding. That's it. If we're doing this fucking work, it's because we've been chosen to help our whole family, everybody around us, heal.
Yeah.
Most do not know how. They were not given the tools. They've been helping us. So this is where people have told me a lot of times, why do you still want to help so-and-so? Why do you still help them heal? They've done X, Y, and Z. Because that's what I came here for. I'm not so wrapped up in this human experience anymore. I've already shifted into my purpose, which is to help people around me no matter what. Because everybody, even the people who are acting out and being shitty, they're still fucking crying for help. They're crying for love. They're crying for a way out.
Yeah.
That is what I came here to do.
Yeah.
But somebody who's not doing this work cannot understand that. I'm like, I got a soul contract here. I'm supposed to be, obviously, guys, we don't sacrifice ourselves
right.
for others, but I'll still throw you a rod. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll still throw it out to you until you stop pulling me underwater with you, and then I'll help you closer. But I know what I'm here for. I'm not attached to, I don't give a fuck what they do in the human part. I know it's all part of this setup, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've had the same thing.
I'm there for a reason.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah. I've had the same. I've had the same experience too, where I'm like, my husband will say, why are you still, with this person, and this happened already, and this happened. And it's like, I know, but you know what? I said to him, I was like, I can't really explain it, but I know that this person is meant for so much. Like they're very gifted, they're talented, they're meant for XYZ. I was like, I don't know why this is happening, but I know that I am supposed to be a pivotal part in whatever is going on. And then who knows, maybe they will end up being a pivotal part in my reality too. And aside from all of that, like, let's just talk about, I want to fill my good karma jar wherever possible. You know what I mean? Like, again, not to sacrifice myself, but it is also my purpose to help. So that's what I'm going to do. I want to put out good karma, and I'm letting the law of reciprocity bring back to me. I mean, it probably will not come from some of the direct people that I am helping, but and I was actually just watching a girl talk about this, and she explained it so nicely, and I'm going to butcher it, but basically she's like, I understand that the universe is conspiring with me and compensating me for what good I'm putting out. So by me putting out free content and videos and talking to this person and putting out this thing, and okay, even if I put a low price tag on it, even if I do it for free, it doesn't matter, because the universe is helping me. And this is like my client who manifested the tickets and things like this, right? And we like the other day we went out for dinner and we ended up getting like way more chicken strips than we ordered, right? And it's just like that, like an abundance of chicken strips. And it's like, that's the universe giving back to you in whatever way is best in that moment, right? Because the universe knows better than you what you need. And you will always be given what you need as long as you are fulfilling the reason that you're here, right? So if you have a calling to help, and chances are, like, Teresa and I both have experienced this, and I say this all the time, people don't just find me by chance. They are guided to me. They are guided to Teresa when they are ready for what we can help them with. Because everybody, I've seen it, like by now, I've seen the track record for both of us. And the people that we draw in, the people that are guided to us, end up not only helping themselves, but they create this like beautiful ripple effect of people all around them, right? And it's like, we attract people who are also light workers, and not everybody. I'm not saying if you're watching this, I'm not saying you're meant to be a coach or a mentor or whatever. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm just like, sometimes it's just within your family circle. It's just within your immediate, whatever. It's just to the grocery store clerk and the Starbucks employee and the, Target cashier. And then it ripples out from there. Right. But that's just as important.
Well, right? To every woman that comes in my path and books my services, that you're meant for big fucking things in this universe. Like, my soul is a catalyst to your fucking awakening and beyond. Right. If you're being brought into my space, is because you're meant to be doing this kind of work on some kind of level in your own unique way. Not necessarily making a YouTube like me and Danielle and doing it how we're doing it, but 100% you are a light worker, a starseed, a chosen one that has a huge purpose, and we're here to activate you and guide you on that path. You're not meant to be working a fucking 9-to-5 job. I don't know why that just blurted out of my mouth, but none of the chosen ones that are here, we're not supposed to be confined in this fucking box. That's a whole nother, got me feeling type of way right now.
No, but what's funny about that is I've been saying this same, gist of things for years now, right? And I remember one of the girls who's been following me for quite a long time. I don't even know, how we met. I was network marketing before that, so who knows where in the process we became, Facebook friends or whatever. Now we're actual friends. But she said to me not that long ago, she sent me a message and she's like, I just want to tell you something. When I heard you say that you attract light workers to you, I was like, no, that doesn't apply to me. I'm still going to I think she attended like a vision board workshop or something was where I said this thing. Right. And she's like, I I don't think so. And then, okay, so maybe at that point, no, but destined to be yes, because she sent me a message at some point last year when I was in Nicaragua, and she's like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just had an epiphany that I am a light worker. She got sent to do, I don't know, somebody she knows recommended that she do this belief clearing certification. And by the way, she's incredible. Her name's Liz. I can connect anybody who is interested because she's phenomenal. And she's like, oh my God, though, I didn't believe you when you said it, but now that I'm doing this and I see the power of the work, and she's like, I'm a light worker. And I was like, I know. That's the whole thing, is like, yeah, like maybe not at the time, like when you hear me say it, maybe no, but there's a reason, you know, why we stayed connected that long. Because some people who are maybe, well, what I was going to say was some people who are maybe not meant to be will fall away again. But I have not had anybody come into my reality that is not meant to elevate in some way.
Oh yeah. Then that's what I realized too. Like now the energy that I'm in now, just having a conversation with me, just whoever watches this is going to be activated through our energy, because we're holding that higher vibration now.
Right.
But everybody, and it's going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn right now, but literally everybody who comes into contact with me and has a conversation, your life is changed forever now. Everybody that comes into contact with us, they're instantly activated. And that's what I'm saying now. Like I'm literally a catalyst, a soul activator, 100%. Before it first started happening, I was like, well, that's kind of weird. Well, that's
yeah.
By the way, I don't know about you, but like hummingbirds are back again. I don't know.
Oh my God, yes.
We're doing the magic and we're in this higher vibration. I'm in a long time, but they're like all around me. Birds are in my window like crazy. That's one of the ways to gauge that you're on the right path, is when nature starts coming to you like crazy, because it feels.
Since I have been home from Nicaragua, even right when we moved back, I have seen more eagles since I've been home from Nicaragua than I think I've seen in my entire life. Like it is mental, the freaking eagles. And almost immediately, like one of the first things I saw was an eagle. And I was like, okay, well, I mean,
yeah, because now you're soaring above everything.
Right.
You see I saw this, I don't remember, whatever, it was showing the eagle, how a crow landed like on its back and is like trying to attack it. So all it did, instead, it didn't even respond. It was so fucking calm. It just kept flying. All it did was soar all the way to the top. And guess what happened? The crow cannot, up there, the oxygen for it, it's like not a match.
Can't do it, yeah.
It off on its own. You're standing, you keep soaring higher and higher, higher to the top, and then you're untouchable. And you didn't even have to do anything. You didn't even have to respond to all the lower vibrational negative fucking energy.
Right.
And we could get caught up there. And we have to be very careful that we don't. Yeah.
Because it can be hard, right? Like Teresa was saying, we are having human experiences with other humans. And some of the humans we're having experience with are not on the path, are not as far along on the path, are, only you and God know why, these people are on your path and what's going on. But you have to just remain confident that everything is always working out for you, and that at some point, all of the things that are confusing and don't make sense will start to make sense. It might be tomorrow, it might be later tonight, it might be on your deathbed. You know what I mean? But at some point, everything will make sense. And this is going to sound kind of morbid, but something that has always given me more peace when dealing with people who just don't seem to get it, and I just like overwhelmingly frustrated about it, is that maybe at no point in this lifetime in their human experience will they get it. But it's my belief system, and I know it's Teresa's as well, that once we pass away from this physical form and we go back to the spirit form, we remember everything. Everything makes sense again. So to me, and maybe this is my ego, I don't know, I've been doing this for several years now, but it's just like anybody who just really doesn't seem to get it, I'm just like, whatever. when they finally do return back to their true form, it'll all make sense. And I don't need to explain myself. So I'm just like, the truth will be known at some point, and I don't need to concern myself with it.
Yeah, no, exactly that. All we can do is stay in our own power, stay in our own light, no matter what. Just like as I was speaking earlier, you know, I can easily allow these women who follow me in a jealous and envious energy or hateful energy to affect me, but it doesn't. It doesn't. I will never dim my light for anybody else. And I'm also not going to engage in that activity. And I used to respond, act crazy and do all this stuff, but why are you going to take yourself out of alignment of all of your blessings and step from the path that you're meant to be on, where all of your abundance, you're being led to all of this for people who are still asleep, per se, living unconscious.
Right.
You know, that's why I'm just going to continue to keep sharing the stuff that I know. Maybe it'll turn into them, you know, instead of following me in this ugly energy, they'll have an awakening.
Yeah.
They'll have an awakening. God, I'm sorry. I just got like all this, like, just thinking about how we hold on to things so tightly when we so desperately want better for ourselves and something new, but that can't even find you. It can't even come in as long as you're holding on to all of the shit that doesn't serve you, right? You're holding on so tightly to a man, trying to force them to love you. You shouldn't have to force anybody to fucking love you, period.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to force anything. When you're in your power, it happens naturally. You're holding on so tight, and yet your higher self, your subconscious mind has the perfect husband waiting right here. If you just fucking let this shit go, and they slide right in. Like, that's how this stuff works.
Well, and that's it. That's with anything, right? When you hold on to anything that doesn't serve you, you're not allowing for the space to be made for the thing that you're calling in. And so a lot of the time, this is going to go off on a whole side. We'll have to readdress this in another episode. But a lot of the time when people are like, well, I've been manifesting, you know, XYZ for so long and it's not coming. Well, because you're determined to hold on to these other things that are not serving you. So this other thing can't come in, because what the universe needs you to do is release these things that don't serve you, so you can elevate to the vibration and to the person and the version of you and the self-concept of yourself that feels worthy of the things that you're asking for, so that it can come in. But if you are determined to live in the past and focus on all of the things that are not working, including noticing that the thing you want is not coming, it can't, because you haven't made space for it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, this is one of the reasons why, when I decided, before anybody else knew, that we were moving home, I started to declutter and get rid of shit, because I was like, well, this is happening. So I have to start making space, and, you know, because I can't take all this stuff home. I got to, like, literally
feel like when you start emptying all that shit out.
Oh, it's amazing.
When you got rid of all that stuff that you're not even using, that's been sitting there for years, you've been holding on to for God knows why, you can feel the energetic shift.
Oh, 1,000,000%.
Big time. I mean, I was even having this conversation with somebody yesterday. It's like, she so badly wants this new life and knows all the ways that she's been living right now do not serve her. They don't even align to this new life that she's calling in. Right. But she cannot fucking let these people go. People, the places, the habits.
Yeah.
And will even send me stuff like showing, you know, like, your old life on fire when your spirit guide is trying to get into this new one, but like so desperately holding on to this life that's on fire. I'm like, fuck, dude, like, you have to let go. I mean, either way, it's going to take you there anyways.
Well, and that is the thing.
Right there anyways. You're going to be cut, bruised. You're going to be on fire, when you could just smoothly let it go. But a lot of times it's the fear of the unknown. But, you know, and this is something I want to leave food for thought. It's like, what I feared more was being in that same fucking place, even a week from then, a month from then. God forbid any more years of my life were fucking wasted on shit that wasn't in alignment with the life that I was trying to create or where I wanted to be. period.
Yeah.
You got to let go.
No, exactly. I had one of my clients said to me, she's like, I was instantly convinced that I needed to work with you when you said, you know, if you don't change anything, you're going to be in the exact same place next year. And she's like, I had a panic attack. I was like, I can't do that. There's no way, because she knew that what I was saying was right. And then, okay, she worked with me for 2 whole years. She literally just filed for divorce yesterday. She wrote and published her first book and audiobook. She started her miracle method manifesting workbook. Like, she had so many amazing things happen because she took that leap, recognizing that things needed to change and that she needed assistance too, right? Not everybody needs assistance, but that is definitely the faster way to go when you are with somebody like Teresa and I are saying, like, we have the tools, we've lived it, we walked it, we've embodied it, we know, we've been studying it. Like, I can't get enough. I literally live and breathe this stuff. Like, any spare energy I have, I spend reading books, watching videos, you know, journaling out my own things and getting in touch with my own, you know, the universal guidance that's trying to come through me so that I can share what you need, you know, like, it's just, why go slow when you can, and it's not even about going slow or fast or nothing. It's just, how peacefully do you want it to unfold?
Right. You have somebody who is exactly where you want to be and has already walked through the fire so that you don't have to continue to keep walking through the fire.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you do the fucking work, you're guaranteed to have results, period.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's it. So anyway, we'll leave it there. So today is day, 18, 19 of the magic, which has been phenomenal. We've got another like 10 days to go, 9-10 days to go. So we'll still be talking about it next week. And anybody who's interested, you might as well go ahead and start thinking about how you're going to grab a copy of The Big Leap. I know you can get PDF copies because we're going to do that next. It's so good. The conversations will just get better and better from there. But even if I know a lot of people who are doing the magic have fallen off the wagon, like, it's fine. That's part of the process. That's part of the journey. It's part of the lessons. It's part of the challenges. It's part of you becoming the version of you that you want to become, which is instilling these new habits and having the awareness that, oh shit, I did it again, right? I did it again. I fell off the wagon. I couldn't stay consistent, you know, because your old life is fighting to stay and your new life is fighting to be recognized, right? So that's part of the process. So don't feel like you're doing anything wrong. It's just, you're exactly where you need to be. It's part of the process. So if you have fallen off the wagon, if you have fallen behind, go back 3 days, you know, double down on your gratitude and keep following, keep doing it. Your life can only get better.
Just giving yourself grace.
Yes.
But don't beat yourself up over it. You fell off, start again, just like with anything else in your life.
Yeah.
Get up, do it again. Get up, do it. No matter what, gratitude needs to be incorporated into your life everywhere. Because whatever we focus on grows. Yeah. So if we're focusing on gratitude, we're focusing on the opposite. Usually that's where our brain's scanning for, which then we create more of the things that we don't want. Right. So absolute must, no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Gratitude is the key, man.
Yep.
Well, thank you for another amazing conversation. That was so good. I am so thankful. And to everybody watching either live or on the replay, thank you so much again for hanging out with us. If you have any questions at all or comments or want to share anything, as always, feel free to comment below. We'll circle back to you. We hope to see you back here live 11-ish next Tuesday. We love you guys so much. Have an awesome rest of your day.